Don't tell them nothing, Mr. Boston. You know, they think this you know, there's too many conspiracy theorists out here. Don't tell them nothing. They don't really want to learn the truth. They just want to gobbledygook all day long. So they think they all was Masons and Jesuits and all this other crazy shit, right?
I find it odd in the United States that people who are citizens of a republic have a monarchical theory of the universe. Because we are carrying over from the very ancient Near Eastern cultures the notion that the Lord of the universe must be respected in a certain way. People kneel, people bow, people prostrate themselves. Because and you know what the reason for all that is, that nobody is more frightened of everybody else than a tyrant. He sits with his back to the wall, and his guards on either side of him. And he has you face downwards on the ground because you can't use weapons that way. When you come into his presence, you don't stand up and face him because you might attack. And he has reason to fear that you might, because he's ruling you all. And the man who rules you all is the biggest crook in the bunch, because he's the one who's succeeded in crime. The other people are pushed aside because the criminals, the people we lock up in jail, are simply the people who didn't make it. So naturally, the real boss sits with his back to the wall and his henchmen on either side of him. And so...
What's up, everybody? Back with another video. Hope all is well this morning on the Saturn day. And get back with another video. Just feel moved to do a video. Energy. You know, don't give them any education. They're not they. You know, nobody. You know, they just regurgitate the gobbledygook. You know, and shout out to the brother Yard Magnified for, you know, and everybody else. My brother, hope my brother Wise Wake Up 1984 is doing well and swell. So much stuff going on. My other brother, Fake Mike, the fakest Michael, and all my other brothers out there and sisters out there. Troop Virus, you know, Mr. Boston, Cuts, Sons of Pete. Oh man, there's so many people, you know, can't name them all. Angel Z, um, AV, everybody. Bend Over, Rap Samples. I'm just shooting from the top of the head. My brother that's local here, Daniel Amico. Um, my boy that jumps over there every one of them from auditing Erie County. You know, my other brother from Erie County, Buffalo. Oh shit, name is slipping my mind. But I met the brother, like 6'5", cool as hell, pale horse rider. What's good? Um, Miss Blink. um, I'm just shooting. Gemini's. Uh, Bamboo. Dr. Savage. A lot of other people who don't chop it up, chit chat. You know. Because if I miss your name, it's just because, you know, I'm just shooting off the head. And you ask anybody that make videos, it's hard to think of everybody's name at the same times. You know. That's what's up, Mr. Boston. You know. But yeah, I just want to continue. Um, you know, talking about, you know, certain things that pertain to each and every one of our lives that, you know, many people just push aside, hide, hide from, run from. You know, we're supposed to be standing in truth, but a lot of people got caught up in a truth community. It was nothing about nothing and just, you know, part of the problem and helping bring forth what they want. You know, so, you know, why not help yourself out while you can and, you know, make your life better? I mean, it's too late in my book, but, you know, they say it's never late than never, but I don't know. So, you know, I just want to, you know, talk about more of the, you know, you wake up. Again, I say it all the time, but I woke up, man. It was about the situation I was in, like looking around, like, damn, they got us like that. And immediately, you know, I would think naturally you want to change. When you find out you're in a bad situation, you don't stay in it. Like, what in the, where's the logic in that, man? Like, that's why, you know, you guys know I never understood this truth community. You know, I never understood where I landed. You know, I never understood where I landed, but now I understood what it was. MK Ultra Mind Control, you know, honeypot, you know, get in the truth community and, you know, you'll feel as if you're accomplishing something. There's other like-minded individuals, but you quickly find out because of the social media engineering, it ain't shit but a fucking, you know, I mean, there is, don't get me wrong, there is, things have been done, blah, blah, whatever, but you know what I mean? The majority, there's nothing as far as any real movement, action, nothing. Individually, yes. Collectively, no. You know, as soon as you go on some collective shit, everything just even gets further divided up. So I never really understood it. Coming up on, here years ago, I don't know how long ago, long time, I don't even know how long, 2009, 10, somewhere. No, no, no. I think 2000. Yeah, man, it had to be like, man, shit. Obama was the fucking president. First term, I believe. I don't know. So, you know, it's 1 second. Hold on 1 second, guys. It's just what we it's just what we fell into. How much more do you just gotta decode? Yeah, exactly. Um Corruption, root rots the system to a story. Yep. And the thing about it is, you know, I only say this stuff from experience. Um, so that means if you can do it individually, that means collectively you could have created change. Because I've done stuff individually, you know, and it's just understanding how the system works. And it just is what it is. Now imagine collectively. If we can do it individually, then we could do it collectively, but nobody wants to learn it because I can't figure it out, you know? And even when I share it, I mean, there's never a comment. I give an email, I get a couple. All I got to reach is one, and I'm good with that. But no one ever wants to know any questions. Nobody cares, and I'm like, what the fuck? Am I the only? Am I the only one? Like, am I the only one that goes through shit? That goes through family shit? That like what? I'm like, wait. I mean, this is a bunch of truthers. I know life has been fucked up for you because when you awaken to things, shit is different. So but it's just mind laziness, man. It really is. And I understand how it can get mind lazy. But ever since I started waking up, I mean, these are the things that I did first. I looked at my situation, man. I'm like, man, this is fucked up. You know? I'm like, this is bad, man. I'm like, this is bad. And I'm like, man, I don't own nothing. My kids ain't mine. I need to learn about this shit. This ain't right. First thing I said, this ain't right. How the hell, then you learn all this stuff. Everyone always says, "Oh, I knew about Jordan Maxwell and you know years ago, and Bill Cooper years ago," and I'm like, well, they the ones that piqued a lot of people's interest to a lot of this shit. Like, and then now look at a truther nowadays, they're like, okay, that's where you started around then, but you didn't get what they were saying. You know, you didn't get what they were saying. They kind of left breadcrumbs. But the breadcrumbs they left led to conspiracy theories, you know? And then they had other factions and stuff where they put out, and people, went towards those with no Ran with that shit with no foundations, no understandings, you know? Think about it. But that's what it was. You know, you woke up, you're supposed to realize you're in a bad situation and try to change it. You know, it wasn't all about, oh, we gotta, oh, look at this, you know, look at that, and look at all this over here. Oh, no, man. How about you look at you and your situation first? You know, we know the schools. You know, I got truthers and people that are supposed to be awake telling me that schools are this and schools are that, and then the kids in school. I mean, I get it, but then if you're really about it, you know, I wasn't about it. I'm like, yo, I'm about to go on a mission. Nah, hey, getting up out of this mode, and I really fucking went through a lot of shit for many years to do that, and I got it done. I actually accomplished the shit, you know, and I had to go through hell to do that. You know, you start to really meet the devil, you know. All right, guys, give me 1 second. Just that intermission. I want to leave it there. Oh, guys, what this shit connects again? All right, guys, I'm back. Back. So, yeah, I don't know what I was talking about, but so I want to kind of do some more. We always change it. Whatever the way the universe makes you flow, that's the way you go. But my unexpected, timing, got me changing, the course because I'm like, okay, I got the experience even more and greater now. So it was good, Kimmy. Yes, you got that right. Boom. You know, just human, period. Just to come up out of that, legal fiction, that legal entity, because that's how they treat us. And this is shit nobody wants to know, but it's actually easy, man. There's just a lot of people made it actually difficult. And the brother that was on here yesterday, he showed me. I learned a lot from him, man. You know, I learned a lot. And as and Yah is magnified. And you know, I've just learned so much. I got a whole nother piece that I didn't know, that I didn't know. So I got a whole nother piece. And that's how this stuff works, man. We all have a piece. So through that, that helped me a lot. And it is helping me. But now that I done went through, an entire whole process for a second time, um, and I'll probably keep going through the process. I got the ability to teach people. I got the ability to teach people and show people like, yo, this is what you do. People that really want change in their life. People that really want to walk the walk. People that really want to, uh, understand this reality. In many different ways, man. You know, all these years of just truthing and just stupid shit. I mean, that shit is over, man. You know. I mean, is it too late? I mean, it's a high probability it's all too late. But hey, while you got a chance, it's still here. It's time to like figure this shit out. You know, and the lid tastes like plastic. Hold on 1 second, guys. So, you know, and the only way you can do things is through experience. Shit, this is dangerous. You ever had liquid in the car without a lid? Holy shit. That is an accident waiting to happen. I'm trying to. I got two lids and it's causing a major malfunction here. Fuck. I have to pretend I'm broken down for a minute. Damn. Put that bitch on that tight. Shit. So, damn it. Shit. Here we go again. Oh my God. Sorry, guys. I'm having a major malfunction here. And I spilled my tea. God damn, I'm just spilling every fucking thing. I spilled tea and a hot chocolate. And I got an impatient Rochesterian behind me that's trying to, you know. All right. Your thoughts make a vibration. Always make more perfect thoughts. That's big facts. You know, we actually create our own reality, man. And I kind of talked about it yesterday. And you know, when you set your mind and heart on something, it only could be granted to you. You know, we fail because of doubt. We fail because of fear. We fail because of the unknown. We fail because we put too much effort. And you just got to flow, man. You know, you got to put it into here and now. All right, listen, I need to do this here and now. Look, take all the feelings and emotion out of it, and just do it. You know, that's when you change things in your life. You let go of all the attachments that hold you back and hold you down and that are tying you to it. You got to cut it loose, man. If I was out here running around just all day, talking about, you know, the relationship that I had with my kids was so ridiculously close, and the amount of work that I put in, as that, that dad, to have it all stripped away, and then for them to be removed and put all the way back to where they've been taken out. It's like, like, I mean, I could have came on and ragged about that all day, be stressed about all that day, all day. I didn't shed one fucking tear, guys. I ain't shed one tear. Because I understand the principles of what I'm saying. I didn't shed one tear. There were days that I would miss, but I never shed a tear. I was like, I can't let it get me. Then I lose, then I fail, then I falter. You know, 1 second, another second, because I got to stop at 7-Eleven and get a cup. All right, guys. Sorry about that. Oh my God. So yeah, like I told you, I ain't shed one tear because I knew, oh, they'll be back one day. What are you gonna do? Nothing I could do about it. So being in that mind state clears up a lot of space and energy. Energy for you to learn, energy for you to understand. You know, and to know. You know, you already know it's coming back. So once you know that, that's a part of manifestation. Just know. Just be still and just know. Just know. As long as you put your heart and attention to it, it's gotta come. It just has to. It has to come one way or another. It'll come, you know, and it'll come in other forms. Believe it or not, things will come in other forms, and it will bring you whatever you felt that you were missing. You know, I mean, it's deep. It's deep stuff. You know, because you could be in a relationship with somebody, man, woman, whatever the hell it is, and then you split. And then once you understand the principles and you're sad and it's like, oh my God, it's just devastating and this and that, by holding on to that, you clog up the space for that energy to come back to you. When you learn to release it, let the shit go. Guess what? It's gonna come back. And you be like, damn, I feel great again. That everything that you were missing, you get it back. I go from a family as well. You know, I don't, that happened to me before. First relationship, lost a family, gained a family, became a bigger family. You know, Same thing happened again. Lost a family. I love family. That's where my heart's at. Boom, gained the family back. It just comes in different forms. You know, think about it. You know, so so these are the things that I want to start doing and talking about is change your position, man, in life. You know, change your position in life and help your situation. What is it you trying to fix? For me though, I'm not with. There's a lot of BS online. And all this, you know, accounts and secret treasury accounts, and you can do this, and man, no, never let don't never let greed and possessions, right? Caesar's possessions take you over. You know, that ain't how it works. You know, you want to be private, be private. You want to do commerce, but you gotta learn how to work it. Gotta learn how to do all this stuff. So, Buzzacino, what's good? So, and then they don't people don't teach you these principles, man. You got all this information out here, but nobody understands the state of consciousness, the mind, the energy to maneuver all this. You know, to maneuver all of this stuff. It takes a certain mind state, and it takes a certain energy, and it takes a certain, you know, understanding. That's why one thing is, you know, the wrong people can get information and use it the wrong way. You know, it just is just a society we live in. So, you know, and when you're dealing with when you're dealing with this stuff, you got to go through it. Like if you're dealing with courts, family courts, traffic courts, whatever it is, those are the most frequently visited courts, right? Unless you commit crime, that's some different shit. But these are the most frequently visited courts. It's family court. I mean, I'll be in there all the time. That shit be busy, man. You know, and that's why I want to, share things. If it could help somebody, I'll help somebody out because I'll be going in there all the time, man. Whether it's to get paperwork, file paperwork, whatever. I'll be in them bitches all the fucking time, man, and I see the same shit done over and over and over and over. And that's because of lack of knowledge. And I'm like, damn, these people don't even gotta do that. I've stopped people like, look, man, and they don't believe you. You know what I'm saying? Like they be like, yeah, I'm about to do it this way though. And I'm like, I literally just gave them the whole fucking jewel, you know. But it's just like you can't teach this stuff, you know. It's got to be somebody who realizes it and comes into it, you know. I mean, the stuff that I see when I'm waiting in line for paperwork or something like that, and what they go up there with their story and tell them, you know, oh, here you got to file this and file that. I'm like, damn, you know, you didn't even got to use their fucking forms. You ain't even got to do this. They just told you to do that. You ain't got to do none of that shit. And it's crazy, man. It's truthfully crazy. And then they be all charged with emotion. Them people working behind that counter don't give a fuck about your emotions, man. They don't care about your emotions. They do this every day, all day. You know, every day, all day, they in there doing this shit. They do not care about your emotions. They don't give a fuck what your ass is talking about. None of that shit. They ain't. It's crazy, man. And I understand it. But this is how, you know, we're this is how they have been able to form that system, is because they know that when these things happen, it's going to be charged off emotions, and it's easy to control emotions. It's easier to control other people's emotions rather than a person controlling their own emotions. They know this, and that's how they structure these courts to the T. You know, that's crazy. And then they carry that shit in the courtroom. You know, so so these are things that I want to do, is help people out, man. Simple, like, help out, put information out, learn from other people, point you to the right directions. I mean, for now, probably maybe too late, but individually, it ain't too late, and that's what I want to do, because now I got, after getting this remedy, you know, um, now it's official. I got 14, 15 years of experience going through this shit. So I'm well seasoned, and I done been through it all, CPS and all, you know. And this only goes for people who aren't doing anything, people who are upright, people who haven't done nothing. If you did shit, hey, no, you gotta pay for all that. You gotta clean up that first, before you can do anything else. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm just gonna be putting out videos, and if people care, they care. If not, hey, go back Gobbledygookin. I don't expect a lot of people to be around. You know, with those that do, all I need is one. That's it. All I need is one. So that's what I want to do. And you know, my most polished subjects in all this and learning this stuff is, the family court system. In law in general. You know, so I mean, we have the abilities to, fight back, meaning, show our positions in life, you know, show our positions in life. Like, look, man, we're not what you got us, you know. We all hear all this stuff, but nobody puts it into action. Only when you put it into action, things start to change, you know. That's what it is. So I'm about to read a couple things. Let me see if I got this. I might have to. Let's see. So I got these things. They're called bullets. Well, I call them bullets because I've got a lot of things accomplished with these bullets. A lot of shit accomplished. And I'm gonna read some of them. You know, these are constitutional case laws that stand up against anything. You so I'm gonna read through some of these, and just so people can get the idea that, we being violated every day, all day long. You know, the more people know this, the more people do this, and guess what they got to start doing? You know, they'll never tell you. You know, no, I don't want to say they'll never tell you. Some will tell you, some won't tell you. Now, you're absolutely right. You know, but you don't need them for them to tell you, because when you understand the process, you know they know you right, and how they respond, you exactly know that you were right. You know, so they don't really let you know, but they actually let you know. You know, now these are constitutional case laws, right? Statutes, and this is Bennett versus Boggs. You know, statutes that violate the plain and obvious principles of common right and common reason are null and void. I mean, this is literally stating they know they have statutes out there, because the difference between legal and lawful, legal is sufficient enough, but it is not lawful. That's the difference between legal versus lawful, right? If you want the exact definition, I just try to break shit down to you. You know, people can go look this stuff up on their own. You know, and that's one of the abilities I have, to make it simple, stupid. You know, I can make things simple, stupid for people to understand. And, you know, there's people out there that don't understand a lot of this stuff, that need a baseline to understand this stuff. And that's where I come in, to be able to decipher it and put it into simple terms. And then people could take what I said in simple terms and actually go look it up. I give it to you quick in a nutshell, you know? So, hold on 1 second. So, okay. So, all right. Try to give y'all the best definition that they got out here. All right. Legal versus lawful. All right. Lawful is in accordance with the law of the land. I mean, need I say more, guys? Law of the land. All right. That's lawful. Law of the land. Not law of the building, law of the fucking town, village, not law of the city, not law of the town, I mean the state, right? Law of the land. Not law of the you know, the articles, not like articles of the statutes, not the codes, not the regulations, you know, all that other shit, right? Lawful is in accordance with the law of the land, according to the law, permitted, sanctioned, or justified by law. Lawful properly implies a thing conformable to the enjoyment by law. Legal, a thing in the form or after the manner of law, or binding by law, a writ or warrant issued from any court under color of law, is a legal process, however defective, right? This is how they do it. It's simple. They're not supposed to be doing shit that way. That's why you're innocent until proven guilty, right? But remember, this goes to common law. Murder, rape, theft, bitch, you're going to jail. Point blank, period. The common sense laws. Shit like that, property damage, stuff like that. I mean, you're not even supposed to be, that's commercial, okay? You got to pay. That's a lawsuit. But harming human beings and shit like that, that is all agreed upon all aspects of law. Bitch, you're going to jail. You're doing too much. It's a problem. You hurt somebody, all that other shit directly, not indirectly, but directly. That's a totally different ball game. We're not talking about all that. All right, legal, Latin, legalis, which legal is, pertaining to the understanding, the exposition, the administration, the science, and the practice of law as the legal profession. Legal advice, legal blanks, newspaper, implied or imputed in law, opposed to actual. Now, that's why you always see practicing law, attorneys, law practice. That's why you always hear that, because they ain't doing any law. They're doing legal processes. You know, legal looks more like the letter, and lawful is the spirit, substance, content of the law. Legal is more appropriate for conformity to positive rules of law, for accord with ethical principle. Legal imports rather the forms, appearances of law that are observed, that the proceeding is correct in method, right? That the rules prescribed have been obeyed. Lawful, that the right is actful in substance, that moral quality is secured. Legal is the antithesis of equitable and the equivalent of constructive. That's what legal means. These are the difference between legal and lawful. So 90 times out of 100, everything you do in life is just under legal pretense. It's not lawful. Just because it's legal does not mean it's lawful. And it gets real deep in this stuff, man. Thanks, Mr. Boston. I'm sorry I'm not reading the comments, but I'm just going through real quick. Going through these things. So these are the difference between legal and lawful. And this is the thing. They got you as a legal entity, right? Not a lawful entity, not a lawful, you know, uh, sovereign human being. And this ain't no sovereign citizenship. You're inherently sovereign when you're born into this bitch, supposedly. But they enslave you and make you a fiction, a corporation, a corporate fiction. They give you a title. We all know this stuff. You got a title walking around here. And I'm still working on the Colorado thing because I'm just not in agreement with being born in a landmass in Colorado, getting a Colorado birth certificate, but I'm living in fucking New York and I got to have a New York State identification. You know, these are things that Hey, I gotta check it and test it. You know, you have a right to identify who you truly are. To nip that shit in the bud. Nip that whole birth certificate shit in the bud. You know, and then understanding and connecting where I'm from, where my family comes from, where my history is at. You know, this is the powerfulest shit. That's why they want to erase history. They don't want you to know your history. Because if people start realizing, like, damn, well, this is where my family's land was. Well, guess who's got it? The motherfucking town of Shebang Bang, has your land. All your family members scattered all over the place. How'd they get the land? When you find out it was all done illegally, man, these motherfuckers don't exist no more. And this is what they don't want people to know. And this is why, it's important. And this is why they didn't want us to know this stuff, is because they got an agenda. As I've read to y'all some of the Russian Constitution and the Chinese Constitution, they all say republic. They all say republic. United States is a republic. And then everybody's talking about, oh, communist China, communist Russia. You look at their constitution, that shit looks more powerful than ours. But what happened? They hid it from them. You know, they ain't did the same shit to them. They're just way far more advanced in the fucking tyranny. This is where we're headed. When all the implications are already there in those countries too. You know? Start looking up constitutions. It's just fucking supreme laws of the land. But you have a president come on this motherfucker the other day talking about democracy the whole fucking hour, whatever his bumbling ass was on the fucking radio. Talking about a democracy. Talking about a democracy, guys, that don't even exist. You know? Think about that. About it, where the fuck does democracy lay? Like, where that shit come from? You know, I'm just saying, I know where it came from, but how could they sit out here and plaster democracy when it ain't any, where the fuck is it? Where the fuck is the democracy? You know, where is that shit? It's wild, man. When you read these constitutions of the other country, like, damn, well, what are we? Because our shit is lining up to their shit. And then you have the other thing, you know, it's color of law. The color of law is the appearance or substance without the appearance or semblance with an S is like resemblance. It resembles the law without substance, you know, of a legal right, misuse of power possessed by virtue of state law and made possible only because wrongdoer is clothed with authority of state in action under color of law. That's Black's Law Dictionary right there, definition of color of law. You know, and this is why they going for the breakup of the United States. People don't see this shit coming. You got real ID and you got state ID. This is why this bitch is splitting apart. These states are going to be tyrannical than a motherfucker, man. They're going to be tyrannical as all hell. You know? Think about that. So, you got this motherfucker bumbling. All he was talking about, democracy. And you got, I mean, like, what? You know? Shit is wild, man. The shit is wild, guys. No, that's from Black's Law 5th edition, page 241. And you know, get all the Black Dog Dictionary. People be like, which version to get? Get all the motherfuckers, then you'll really know some shit. Get every one of them. You know? I got the 2nd edition. Only edition I don't got is the 1st edition. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th edition. And you'll see how they took a lot of that stuff out. It didn't change. They just don't want you to know it. You know? So this is what they have in America. This is what they got us under. Legal entities, corporations, individual mini corporations. This is why it's debt. We're in debt. Because we don't understand our position, you know. They have us under a trust. That's why the money, it says, in God we trust, you know. And yeah. Hold on one second, guys. I gotta take another little quick intermission. Oh, here we go. Let me play this back.
I find it odd in the United States that people who are citizens of a republic have a monarchical theory of the universe. Because we are carrying over from the very ancient Near Eastern cultures, the notion that the Lord of the universe must be respected in a certain way. People kneel, people bow, people prostrate themselves. Because and you know what the reason for all that is, that nobody is more frightened of everybody else than a tyrant. He sits with his back to the wall, and his guards on either side of him. And he has you face downwards on the ground because you can't use weapons that way. When you come into his presence, you don't stand up and face him because you might attack. And he has reason to fear that you might because he's ruling you all. And the man who rules you all is the biggest crook in the bunch. Because he's the one who's succeeded in crime. The other people are pushed aside because the criminals, the people we lock up in jail, are simply the people who didn't make it. So naturally, the real boss sits with his back to the wall and his henchmen on either side of him. And so...
So I'm back. Shout out to Alan Watts, you know, and love the work Alan Watts puts out years ago, way ahead of his time. So, getting back to this whole thing, understanding, our issues, our problems, making sorry about that. Swallowed down the wrong pipe. But I don't care what he was, man. He got dropped some serious dope information, man. And I've done research on him over the years. It doesn't trace back like a lot of motherfuckers to the CIA and that movement. There's actually a lot of Alan Watts videos where he's exposed a lot of things that don't get a lot of play. I bought every piece of literature he has out. I have it all because there's a site where it has every piece of everything he's put out. I paid for that shit. I got all of it. So, I don't get into all that stuff. You gotta take, wisdom and knowledge where you can, and a lot of his philosophy and studies, he went over to the East, and I've studied a lot of, a lot of my understandings come from Eastern, and it's amazing that shit. I don't, I ended up with a woman right from that culture that teaches me even more shit that I could have never have found on the internet. That was just passed down from generation to generation to generation to generation to generation. You know, you know. So, studying Lao Tzu and the real teachings of Lao Tzu, not the shit that's on the internet. You know, a lot of shit Confucius, stole was from Lao Tzu. So and Sung Ju, and man, you see where a lot of this stuff has been stolen from and used, and and we be manipulated with it. They twist it, they fabricate it, and they've manipulated us with it, man. It's pretty dope. The principles of law is based off of Eastern philosophy, which is pretty amazing. That's why the law is so. I actually admire how they structured it. In a good society, the law would actually work. Common law. That's what it breaks down to. See, the criminals created all this other shit because they know, you know, they checks and balances. They can't rule with the iron fist and do all the shit they didn't if they didn't push the checks and balances out of balance. That's why they did it, you know. So yeah, man, it's pretty it's pretty, beautiful when you understand where they come from with the law, you know. And that's why I enjoy it, because when you get into, because there's you study the law, you can study the case laws, all that stuff, but a lot of things people miss is studying the philosophy of law, where it comes from, where it stems from, where a lot of the understandings are, why how they create. We get a Black's Law dictionary and look up all these legal words, but but there's a philosophy behind each word that they put out and why they put the shit out, and that's how the greatest, you'll get the greatest overall aspect of understanding this shit is the philosophy of law, you know, interpretation. And that's how the Supreme Court comes with its rulings, from interpretations. So, these are things to understand. And, and then you can see how they structured some laws, like the full family court system. It's structured to the emotions of a woman. It just is what it is. It has nothing to do with sexist, none of that. It's just structured to the emotions of a woman. See, a man and a woman break up, they ain't gonna run down and fucking do all that shit. I mean, some do. I mean, 95, a man walks in that motherfucker, they looking upside down. Oh, they don't even want to help a fucking man, you know? Because I've unfortunately had a situation where they told me, look, you got to go down there. I know you don't want to. It's going to be kind of odd, but you got to go down there and get this so this shit can stop. And I'm like, fuck. And it was right. This shit ain't catered to no man, you know? They don't have mans. They don't have, what's that? They got then, and here in Rochester, they have a woman's, like a battered woman advocate. They don't have a battered man advocate. That's wild, man. But it is catered to the emotions of a woman, on how they molded society to view and do men. It just is what it is. People need to come to grips with that and change that shit. Stop doing that shit. Stop doing the fucking Real Housewives fucking reality show relationship bullshit. Stop doing that shit, That's what you got to stop doing. Stop doing that. So, you know, um, so I want to bust down and get into some basics of, family court system, right? Well, how the law, is with the family court system, here, and it's pretty much universal all the way through, because you don't realize we call ourselves parents, right? That's what we call ourselves, parents, right? Oh, are you guys good parents? Oh shit. Are you guys good parents or bad parents, right? They use like hold on. Um they use like terms like, the one that blew my mind was child, right? And I always tell y'all this, right? So we'll do parent first. Well, the legal definition of parent is the lawful father or mother of a person. That's what a parent is, right? That's the legal definition, Black's Law Dictionary. Okay? The lawful father or mother of a person. That's what a parent is, right? But check this out. Now, this is pertaining to New York State, right? But not, this shit runs, through interstate, right? So, parent means under the law, right? So this is why, you can use, people get scared and like they run away from words because, but you got to remember, you're playing in a venue, meaning a game. You're not going into fucking a gym with two basketball courts, fucking with a football and cleats. You're just not doing that shit. And that's what some people try to do. They try to go in these venues and these motherfuckers playing. You on a basketball court with hardwood. These motherfuckers got on cleats, full body, and a football. Who you think gonna win that basketball game? That football player about to get fucked up. Who gonna win that game? So it's all about venue. When you in a venue, use their motherfucking language. You could use their language. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as you establish yourself from the beginning. They can't dance around that. Oh, they're never gonna say, oh, you use the word father, mother, child, person. Damn, man. Come on, man. This is gobbledygook shit. You know? That's gobbledygook crap. A lot of shit we ain't even gotta do. You know? So that the parent, right? Parent. Black's Law Dictionary. Parent, lawful father or mother of a person. And people are like, oh, you got a person, you got lawful, all that other shit. Okay, now you go into what is the legal definition of a parent, right? Under the you gotta go to venue, New York State Family Court Act. Parent, right? Hold on. Hold on 1 second. I gotta go through all my shit. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, the shit scrolled all the way, so I gotta go all the way back and find it. Okay. Parent shall mean any living, biological, or adoptive parent of a child whose rights have not been terminated or surrendered. That's what a parent means in the Family Court Act. Okay? New York State Family Court Act, probably your state as well. All right? That's what it means. You got to stick with the venue. All right? New York State Family Court Act 1092 definitions. All right? Parent shall mean any living biological or adoptive parent of the child whose rights have not been terminated or surrendered. That's what a parent is. It don't say mother or father on there. That's why it could be Bobby. It could be two Bobbies as a fucking parent, two Jills as a parent. It could be somebody that's not even a blood. They're telling you right here. Shall mean any living biological or adoptive parent. That's what a parent is. Who of a child whose rights have not been terminated or surrendered. So how I view this is no, I'm a parent according to the law, what the law says, right? That's who I am. A man that happens to be a parent, which is a father. So I'm a man. So I'm a father. That's what I am. Damn, this lady pulled up here, the fucking wheels smoking. So that's what a parent is. So how you look at this and how you deal with this is you use those words. But you say, for instance, this is what you say. Hold on 1 second. And I'm just giving you the basis, like the ground up, you know? The ground up. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm gonna go to one of my documents. Um, Thanks for y'all for joining in, and Mr. Boston, Kimmy, dropping some jewels in there. Just expand the state, which is tyranny. Their goal is to end the family. Yeah, we already know. They've been doing that for years. You know, but you got to remember, I'm talking to people that want to actually claim and put their position forward to where you remove the state out of your fucking life. You know, I'm talking to the people that see only they kids, whatever the court said, with no valid fucking reason for it. These are the people I'm talking to. I'm doing this because I want to. I don't want to gobbledygook. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist. I want to show, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to show affidavits. I'm going to go through the affidavits, teach people the definition, why it's in there, why you should say this. This is what I'm going to do. No more gobbledygook, just talking and all that other shit. I'm going to show you what works and what don't work and what they don't give a fuck about. Point blank, period. So, trying to find this. Hold on. Trying to find this. Problem is, I'm live on the wrong phone, so I'm probably gonna switch phones because all my notes are on the other phone. So I'm gonna go to StreamYard. So is it gonna be a quick blurb? I'm gonna do it right now. Thumbs, a thumbs up. Let me know if I'm back. Oh, there's a guest. It was me. Let me know if y'all can hear me, guys. I switched phones. I should be okay. That's big facts. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Okay, y'all can hear me. Okay. All right, now we about to get to the nuts and bolts. And I forgot to go back to the constitutional laws. Crap. Hold on. I'm going to read to y'all. I'm going to read to you guys. Okay. Now, the reason why, you could say parent, you could say all that stuff, right? But you can use, blood flowing, man, lawful freeman. You could use, you could use all the terms like that to state your status, your position, who you truly are, right? Um, um, hold on 1 second. Um, so one that I think is very powerful, and I got it from a brother, but what he would put is, I, a lawful freeman, known to use the name, the Matrix, as Homo Liber, standing in his lawful capacity as a stateless, non-legal entity. Or you can say, as a lawful free man, or you could say a person free within the state and territory and boundaries, right? You could use all these different things, but the point being is, any document you file
You need to state your position before all of anything, because that's the start. That's if they go all the way through and railroad you and you appeal it, well, they're going to say you've never asserted your rights, from the giddy up. So you change in the middle of the shit, it's kind of, you establish your right from the start. They can't fucking trample your rights. They could try to, but as long as you stand on that footing, ain't shit they could do because you already asserted that right. But if you go in there as a parent, and you respond as a respondent, right? As a parent, or whatever the fuck the name, you say, look, yeah, you just show up and you make an appearance, they got you. They got you. So these are the same thing. This is what you would use. You use, like I said, you could use homo liber. And what is homo liber? It is a someone who is free and lawful, right? And it's a citizen who follows the law of their country and is not in prison at a liber et legis homo. A person who has been released from slavery, it's a free person. Whatever you want to put. It's a freeman, lawfully, And there's if you act, and they have the other definitions, act as a juror, but it just simple means man, freeman. I am free. That's just what it means. So shout out to the brother that gave me that information. But I used to use flesh and blood, stuff like that, letting them know that I'm a man and I'm separate from the legal fiction, legal entity, corporate fiction. You could use all those words. They know what the fuck they know where you're getting, Now, when you go to family court, you're either going to be a petitioner or a respondent. That's what you're going to be. If you're a respondent, I'm going to tell you this straight off the bat. You're the perpetrator. That's what they're saying. In family court, it's structured, simple as this, simple and plain, not going around it. When there's an issue and it's brought to family court, the child has been put in danger. That's why CPS is attached to family court. No matter what, the child has been put in danger, they need a perp. The perp is the respondent or the defendant. That's what it is. And in any way you want to stream it, put it, the perp, the one who caused the harm is the respondent. That's where you're starting from. You're already starting from a negative standpoint, and you need to know that to get yourself out of that, get yourself on an even playing field, which means you need to respond. You're the respondent. You need to respond. Don't go in there without responding. They're looking at you. They're going to roll you as you did it. You got to respond to whatever it was, obviously, if you ain't do it. That's why this is philosophy, guys. Respondent, petitioner. You got to respond, right? I'll give you the exact definition. And this is pertaining to family court, family law, venue. There's a big difference. Venue is key. Knowing the game you're playing is the key. You can't play you could take the principles, but there's different rules in the game. You're not about to go in there talking, under the Constitution, you could put all that stuff in there, but you can't use it as your response. And, I need this, I'll dismiss ASAP because of this law. They're about to play a game first. That's what this is all. It's a game first. I'm just telling you what it is. Okay, so hold on. Run slow. And this also, remember, I'm giving you the drama side, but the other side of this is it's a charge. They're getting paid off of this, all right, because damage has been done to the child. They're getting $50,000 for that child. You ain't going to see it. They're going to use it. They hold it. They form programs. They have programs. One of them is the ACT program here in, Monroe County. Then they have child services. They have domestic violence intervention. They just maneuver all this shit. They keep the 50 bands, but this is how much they get: $55,000 from the federal government, the Department of Health and Human Services, for the damage of that child. You never gonna fucking see that. All right, because the respondent, this is what it is the party who makes an answer to a bill or other proceeding in chancery. The party who appeals against a judgment of our inferior court is termed appellate, and he who contends against the appeal is the respondent. The word also denotes the person upon whom an ordinary petition in the court of chancery or libel and admiralty is served, and one who were a defendant thereinto. The term respondent and co-respondent is used in like manner in proceedings in divorce court. Boom. Now, that's what the lawful definition is. This is why you got to know the difference between legal and lawful, because they're going to run the legal system on you. Know the lawful definitions. This helps you out when formulating and drafting an affidavit and fighting these people. Because remember, they got sufficient enough legal terms to satisfy a lawful position on your ass. In all reality, it's not lawful. It's under color of law. But you got to be able to figure this shit out, So check it out. Now, respondent, okay? And this is like the shit that you got to know. I mean, this is shit that I'm starting from the bottom of the barrel. Okay? Okay? That's respondent. The lawful definition of respondent. Now, okay? Now, respondent in the New York State Family Court Act, look up the act or the shit in your area. It's probably going to be the same. A respondent includes any parent or other person legally responsible for a child's care who is alleged to have abused or neglected such child. Hands down, that's it. Nothing else to talk about. When y'all get that fucking paperwork and your shit says respondent, that's what they think you did. So you're a child abuser, man. That's how serious this shit is. They got you in there as a child abuser. Why? Because that's how they're going to get the bag. Because they're going to get money for that abused child, and you're going to pay for it through child support and sanctions. Because you did not protect their property, which is the child. Okay? Because what's even more wicked is in the Family Court Act, all right? So again, respondent is person answering a bill. It's someone responding in a divorce. It's a respondent or a code respondent. But in the Family Court Act, it includes any parent or other person legally responsible for the child's care who is alleged to have abused or neglected such child. You see respondent, yo ass, you have a serious matter on your hands. That's why a lot of people come out on the bottom end. You got to remove yourself from being a respondent. Yes, it's going to be on your paperwork, but once you state your position and your petitions, and you got to equal that out. If you go in there, you're a respondent, and this is family court. Boom, you in there for a custody battle. You get the first paperwork. You're the respondent. A, B, C, and D, da-da-da, did A, B, C, and D, and now you got this shit, and you're like, oh, man, and this person is seeking full custody, sole custody. That's what they all, 95 to 99% of them, that's what they do. Boom. There they go. You're the respondent. They're the petitioner. They're in the driver's seat. You way behind. You need to file another petition saying no. Whatever the fuck you want. Even if you want full custody too. Say if she's doing some shit, you got a better position, you can do it. But I would always come at it 50-50. Because under the law, that's the only thing they could ever give you. The only thing that they're tied to giving you. I'll get into that later. But I'm just going to say, okay, you respond with a 50-50. Now, you got your petition in there. Now it's equal grounding. It's still going to come back as petitioner, respondent. You could even put it as you're the petitioner, she's the respondent. That's what I do. Fuck them all up. I don't put respondent because I'm responding with my petition. Guess what? I'm the petitioner and she's the respondent. That's what I do. Do I have any proof that it changed anything? No, but that's what I put on my paperwork. As I become the petitioner on my end. And that's how they view it in the law, because they're going to go to her petition, or if you're a him, or if it's a him you're against, they're going to go to his petition, and then they're going to come to the other party's petition. It's equal. So you got an equal balance there anyways, so why not put it on there? Because it is what it is. I do believe that it solidifies, hey, look, now I'm saying that, they're the respondent. They've abused and neglected the child. Their neglected is coming from because they want full custody after we just been together for fucking how many years y'all been together. How do I got to get less? No, that's going to neglect the kids from being with their mother or father. Boom. You got a perfect thing. That's what it is. So now let's get into the legal definition of the child, which is most important. I just told you what a respondent was. You done injured the motherfucking child. Don't mean to curse, but it is what it is. All right? All right. Child, right? The legal definition of the child. Oh, sorry. Child. This word has two meanings in law. In the law of domestic relations, as to a descendant and distribution, it is used strictly as a correlative of parent, and means a son or daughter considered as in relation with the father or mother. 2, in the law of negligence and in the laws for the protection of children, etc., it is used as child, opposite of adult, and means the young of the human species, generally under the age of puberty, without any reference to parentage and without any distinction of sex. That's what child means under the law. See, I got to give you a lawful meaning and the legal meaning. That's what it says. This word has two meanings in law. You just heard it. Now, let's go to the Family Court Act. Child means any person or persons alleged to have been abused or neglected, whichever the case may be. So when you see child and you see respondent, this is a fucking neglect abuse case. That's why CPS gets involved many times, or can. That's what it means. Child means any person or persons alleged to have been abused or neglected. Guess who else could be in a neglect proceeding? Adult care. They're still listed as a child. Ain't that crazy? Surrogate courts. I mean, this shit is wild how they got this shit stretched. So respondent is the parent or other person legally responsible for the child who has alleged to have abused the neglected child, and child is the person or persons alleged to have been abused or neglected, whichever the case may be. It's not a good situation when you're in there being told this. You got to remove yourself. That's the key. You have to remove yourself from this. Right? And then they have another one as abused child. That's even fucking worse. But remember, they use this word child to get the bag. It is what it is. They use it and put it in this definition to get the money. Because how are you going to have child, and that means abused and neglected, but then you have abused child, which actually incorporates the word abused, and then has a definition 1, 2, 3A, and keeps going. Neglected child, abused child, and it goes to physical injury, risk offender injury, commits or allows to be committed offense against a child. It's a lot under abused child. Well, how can a child be the same thing, kind of like synopsis? Well, that's just how they get the money. Point blank, period. So these are the foundations of getting into a family court situation. All right, knowing these things. All right, and how do you enter them? You enter them as a human being, man or woman. That's how you come at them. No, you don't have to have all this other shit and bring your birth. You don't gotta all that internet gobbledygook shit. You don't need. You don't need it all. I ain't need none of that shit. I needed nothing. Don't nobody come with me with that damn gobbledygook ass bullshit. Don't come. You don't need it. You do not need it. They can't prove that you're not who you say you are any fucking way. All you got to do is stand on the principles. And we about to go back to, hold on. We about to go back to the bullets. All right, just so you can get an understanding where I'm coming from with this. You don't need all that. That's rat race shit that they have people doing for years so you can't figure this shit out. I've been in this shit for 15 plus years. Every single year of my life. Every year. The thickest, told by a court attorney referee, knew us by names. Every time we came in and knew the kids, would even say, how they doing? Said the thickest case file in the family courtroom. Not on my doing. I just showed up and responded. The thickest family court case file they ever seen. When I went to get copies of the whole case file, took a week to get it. And they were like, we had to get special folders, which were big brown ass file folders, just to put it in it. I mean, this shit was ridiculous. And I use it for research. I go back, I look, I learn. Like, damn, that's how I got that. That's what happened. I see how my shit changed from using their paperwork to my own paperwork. I've seen how it got shit dismissed, things that I did. Then I graduated from that into being under family court judges instead of magistrates and court attorney referees, Exactly, Mr. Boston. Equity. Equity, equality, So, let me go back to the bullets, why I said that it's already an even playing field even when you go in there. I'm not talking about parents that did shit. If you've been accused of shit, you gotta come out of that. You gotta go through the process, man. If you've been accused, all of us get accused of shit. Don't go in there with no emotions. When I got this decision, I ain't even talk about a relationship. I ain't talk about shit. I stood on the facts of law. That's it. It wasn't no emotion in there at all. It wasn't no situation at all, but we broke up on this date, A, B, C, D, and E, and that is it. And the kids' names and ages, that is it. It wasn't no fucking talk about anything to do with a relationship, anything to do with nothing but the law, what the law states, and that's it. Zero else. Leave your emotion out of it. You don't need to. They don't care about it. They're going to play Jerry Springer with you. They don't. It is what it is. They're going to play Jerry Springer with you. Oh no. They're gonna play Jerry Springer. Hold on 1 second, guys. They're gonna place Jerry Springer with you. So they'll play that, Thanks, yeah. Like and share, please. That's all I want to do is just give back something, you know. And through all the knowledge, the pain and effort, hard work to get results and help other people get results for many years, now I just feel solidified that, I could share this and give this information and people could put it into work and do it themselves, I mean, it just is what it is. So let me go back to, no emotion. Just stand on the principles of your morals, being upright, and stand on what they got to stand upon, because they got to stand upon the same principles you got to stand on, and that is law. Point blank, period. Let me find this. I always fucking lost it. I lost my bullets, my super bullets. Hold on. Sorry, I got so many super bullets. Okay. Oh, wait. No. I'll go further down. Damn. I gotta stop using bullets in my repertoire because there we go. We back. All right. Now I already read. The first one, and that was Bennett Boggs. Statutes that violate the plain and obvious principles of common right and common sense. Remember, common reason are null and void. We would not say that these judicial decisions are straight to the point, that there is no lawful method for government to put restrictions or limitations on the rights belonging to the people. Question mark. Other cases are even more straightforward. The assertion of federal rights, when plainly and reasonably made, is not to be defeated under the name of practice. All right, that's powerful stuff right there. You got attorneys that practice law. You got an attorney and he says practicing law, hey, have fun with that. You're being practiced. Sorry. Anyways, next one. Davis v. Weschler, 263 U.S. 2224. Where the rights secured by the Constitution are involved, there can be no ruling, making, or legislation which would abrogate them. None. And, I'm going to get me a pistol permit here in New York State. And I looked at the paperwork, and I'm going to try something. I'm going to try something and see if that shit works. Because they can't abrogate your rights. If you got a right to bear arms and a right to all this other shit, if you got a right to that, how can they make you do all this different stuff? So I figured, what do I got to lose? I don't give a fuck. I said, I'll try to get me a pistol permit and put some affidavits to it. Get some answers. It's a big packet. I'm going through it. I'm on the first page researching all that shit. And I'm like, I can't believe that people go for this. How you got a right to bear arms, but yet y'all got to go through this, and it wasn't here 10 years ago. This new New York State law, it wasn't here like a few years ago. Now it's here. Y'all let it get here? Like, what? Take it right up the rectum. Anyways, Miranda versus Arizona. The claim and exercise of a constitutional right cannot be converted into a crime. That's Miranda rights. All right? And I got the ones highlighted. These are just these ain't really, these are the constitutional ones, but the ones that are highlighted that are true bullets, I'm going to put some emphasis on it. Miller versus U.S. 230 F 486 489. There can be no sanction or penalty imposed upon one because of this exercise of constitutional rights. Okay? Scherer versus Cullen. We could go on quoting court decision after court decision. However, the Constitution itself answers our question. Can government legally put restrictions on rights of the American people at any time for any reason? Question mark. The answer is found in Article 6 of the U.S. Constitution, Miranda versus Arizona. This is a case law with another case law in it. Miranda versus Arizona, 384 U.S. 426 491 semicolon 86 S. CT. 1603. Where rights secured by the Constitution are involved, there can be no rule making or legislation that would abrogate them. All right. Norton versus Shelby County, 118 U.S. 425 P 442. An unconstitutional act is not law. It confers no rights. It imposes no duty. Affords no protection. It creates no office. It is in legal contemplation, as inoperative as though it had never been passed. That's an unconstitutional act. Scherer versus Cullen. There can be no sanction or penalty imposed on one because of its exercise of constitutional rights. That's the same, another case law with the same damn decision. Simmons versus the United States. This claim of exercise of a constitution right cannot be converted into a crime. A denial of them would be a denial of due process of law. All right, now this one is highlighted. So this one is a powerful one. All right? And I've put this in documents before. All the ones that I highlighted, they've been on paperwork. Cooper versus Aaron, 358 U.S. 178S, citation 1401 1958. Note, any judge who does not comply with his oath to the Constitution of the United States wars against that Constitution and engages in acts in violation of the supreme law of the land. The judge is engaged in acts of treason. The U.S. Supreme Court has stated that no state legislator or executive or judicial officer can war against the Constitution without violating his undertaking to support it. See also Sawyer versus U.S. All right. Hofsmer versus Hayes. The courts are not bound by any officer's interpretation of the law under which he is presumed to act. All right. Then you got Marbury versus Madison. All right. But I'm going to read all the highlight ones because this is like 9 pages. I'm not going to read them all. So I'm just going to go into the ones that I've highlighted and used before that were powerful, that I've actually used in the case that I was in, and I'll show you the ones that I used in the case that I also other case that I wasn't, that's not on this list. And shout out to all y'all that are joining in. I know it's boring to a lot of people, but hey, a lot of people don't give a fuck, And understanding these constitutional laws apply all across the board. All right, just does what it does. It applies all across the board. Shower versus Rhodes, 416 U.S. 232, 94 section, citation 1683, 1687. Case was in 1974. Note, by law, a judge is a state officer. The judge then acts not as a judge, but as a private individual in his person, parentheses. When a judge acts as a trespasser of the law, when the judge does not follow the law, the judge loses subject matter jurisdiction, and the judge's orders are not voidable, but void and of no legal force or effect. The United Supreme Court stated that when a state officer acts under state law in a manner that violative of the federal Constitution, he comes into conflict with superior authority. of that Constitution. And he is, in that case, stripped of his official representation, representative character, and is subjected in his person to the consequences of his individual conduct. The state has no power to impart him in any immunity from responsibility to supreme authority of the United States. That's powerful shit when a judge acts as a trespasser on law. This is why when you hold these motherfuckers to all of this shit, they can't wiggle out. They got to act right, because you assert this stuff in the beginning, they're going to know automatically. You know, am I still live, guys? I got another 0. So give me a thumbs up, and I'm going to read this. This is for all the gun toters. Okay. You got Murdoch versus Pennsylvania. No state shall convert a liberty into a license and charge a fee for therefore. Shuttlesworth versus City of Binghamton, Alabama. If the state converts a right, liberty, into a privilege, the citizen can ignore the license and fee and engage in the right, liberty, with impunity. It's case law. Right? They're doing this all over. The state is converting all kind of rights. You know? And that's another thing why you'll see federal regulation and the state will adopt it. It's to protect themselves. You know, we know this is fucking tyrants. But when they want shit like gun, it comes from the federal and the state adopts it, and then you can't come and claim this right here. You see? Because the federal government said that you can't. Now, you know what I mean? Hold on. Okay. I got a couple more highlighted ones, and then, you know. I got a couple more highlighted ones. All right, Elmore versus McCammon. The right to file a lawsuit pro se is one of the most important rights under the Constitution and law. And that's how I, did my case. They just considered me pro se, but it's a right, and you got a right. And why do you got a right to do that? Because if you waive that, guess what you don't got? Rights. So you have the right to file a lawsuit pro se. It's one of the most important rights under the Constitution and laws. See, this is another thing where people get that shit construed. But they say the right to file a lawsuit pro se. That's why they always want you to get an attorney. Every court case date I went to, always before, they were like, you sure you want to represent? Are you sure you want to continue as pro se? Yep. You sure? Are you getting an attorney? Nope. Because why? Now your rights are gone. That's another thing. Once you got an attorney, you turn over those rights, and you lose personal jurisdiction, right? And because in family court, you still hold your position, where they basically cannot tell you to do anything outside of the rights of you. They just can't do it. They can't do it. I got a 100% proof in a decision. I can't a decision. I could appeal it, but why would I want to? I could appeal it and say it ain't exactly how I want it, but they're gonna come back and say, well, it is, because you see this part right here. This says after you do this, which because I agreed for counseling. So because I agreed to that, they said that, I got to do this. because that's what I already agreed to, so they're going to hold me to my word. Your word is bond. So I agreed to that, right? I could have just said, no, I ain't doing none of that. But I agreed to that because give a little, take a little. You know, we're playing a chess game. I want an even playing field, right? And that's exactly what I got. I got 50-50 unbeknownst custody, what I wanted. But I have to take some steps to get there, and it even says that it does warrant what is the wording? I don't have it with me. Intrinsic, I think, change of circumstances, meaning all you got to do is do this, and you're going to be granted your change of circumstances, meaning now the residency becomes 50-50. You see? They gave me 50-50 custody to set it up to where I got exactly what I wanted. I can appeal it, but I don't need to. They're going to be like, you got it right there. You know, nobody denied you of your rights. You got equal rights, which is a beautiful fucking picture was painted, you know, beautifully. That shit was beautifully written. I read it again last night, and it was beautifully written. And but the other side is like fucking fumigating. Gotta be fumigating. But should be happy that now, you know, hey, we can co-parent. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. Haynes versus Kerner. Allegations such as those asserted by a petitioner, however inartfully pleaded, are sufficient. When we hold to less stringent standards than formal pleadings drafted by lawyers. Now, this is people that do their own paperwork. Allegations such as those asserted by a petitioner, however inartfully pleaded, are sufficient. So that means if you make mistakes, you know, they're going to hold you less stringent standards than formal proceedings drafted by lawyers. Right? So they can't come tell you anything about your shit. They could try, but they really can't. I put all this shit in a document so you can't talk to me. Don't try to shoot because it's a blank. I got the shield up already. All right, Jenkins versus McKesson. Pro se pleadings are to be considered without regard to technicality. Pro se litigants' pleadings are not to be held to the same high standards of perfection as lawyers. This is powerful stuff, guys. This shows you have the power. You got the power. They can't just say, oh, what they get you off is the process that you're moving. All you got to do is the process and know the rules of the game. Sims versus Ahearns. The practice of law is an occupation of common right. Because of what appears to be a lawful command on the surface, many citizens, because of their respect for what appears to be the law, are cunningly coerced into waiving their rights due to ignorance. Think about that one. This is case law, guys. U.S. versus Minker. Supreme Court of the United States, 1795. Inasmuch as every government is an artificial person, an abstract. This is one of the most powerfulest fucking things you could ever fucking come across, amongst many other things. But I'd like to say that. Supreme Court of the United States, 1795. No, the case is U.S. versus Minker. It was in 1950, just 56. I don't want to confuse you with the dates. But it states, Supreme Court, United States, 1795. This is what they said back in 1795. Inasmuch as every government is an artificial person, an abstraction, and a creature of the mind only, a government can interface only with other artificial persons. Period. The imaginary, having neither actuality nor substance, is foreclosed from creating and attaining priority with the tangible. The legal manifestation of this is that no government, as well as any law, agency, aspect, court, etc., can concern itself with anything other than corporate artificial persons and the contracts between them. If that ain't a fucking powerful statement, I don't know what else is. That's telling you right there. It's all corporations. It's all artificial persons. Damn, man, I hate this fucking thermos bullshit for my tea. Stupidest shit ever. I don't know how I've never been able to open this once without it just going every fucking where. Shit is stupid as fuck. Think about that. That's the own government telling you that shit. So it's 100% that, just you come out of that being that artificial person. You could even say, look, are you treating me as an artificial person? Am I fake? Am I not here right now? And make them say, when I was in my trial, I said these words. I said, listen, I'm a flesh and blood man. All I want to know before we proceed is my rights and her rights going to be upheld in this court. See, I didn't make it all about me. If I want equal rights, obviously I want equal rights for the other side. I don't want nothing more, nothing less. I ain't here to bash, do none of that. I want a co-parent. That's equal. Think about that. And I said that, am I here? Am I present in the courtroom right now? And she looked at me and said, yes, your rights everyone has equal rights here. You both have equal rights. I said, so I am here present, correct? Yes, you are. Come on, man. That shit holds weight. Because if you're a legal entity, how the hell are you going to be in the courtroom? Think about it. You can't be in the courtroom. You're not going to play that fucking game with me. It's not happening. It's not happening. As the father, not parent, that's what I said. As the father. Remember, there's two legal definitions, common law, and then there's the one parent. Am I still live, guys? Before I move forward. Shout out to all you guys sticking around. A lot of people bailed out, which is cool. Hey, I already know. The least, the better. They can just go, a lot of people can just go back Gobbledygookin. People not ready to understand this stuff. Everybody knows somebody that has some issues. Every one of us. Wouldn't it be nice to give them fucking jewels? Bring the family back. The power of the family back, Let me know if I'm still live, guys. And this is another jewel. This is another jewel that you could put in on any document. I don't give a fuck how deep you in, the family court, child support, custody, any of that shit. Let me know if we're live, guys. If anybody's still here. All right, thank you, Kimmy. No, I'm not talking about you. No, I'm not talking about you. So, the next one, and this is all case law, guys. These things you can stick on whatever you filling out, and they're going to be like, damn, okay, all right, okay. Maine, like the state of Maine, versus Theo Thibault. Thibaut, whatever, I can't pronounce that. 1980. Jurisdiction can be challenged at any time, and jurisdiction, once challenged, cannot be assumed and must be decided. You go challenging jurisdiction, they got to have a hearing on how they obtain jurisdiction. Point blank, period. That is powerful stuff right there. You know. And then you got Basso versus Utah. It's the same thing. Once challenged, jurisdiction cannot be assumed. It must be proved to exist. They always got to prove it. A lot of motherfuckers got a lot of shit and they ain't even have jurisdiction. You know? All right, we're going to scroll down. We're on page 5. And Nudd versus Burroughs. Fraud vitiates everything. Means fraud eliminates everything. Anything done under fraud all gets wiped the fuck away, and you get recourse. All right, SCR 1795, Panhello versus Doan Administrators, US 54. I don't know, it's long. Okay, it says, and B, the contracts between them involve U.S. citizens which are deemed as corporate entities. Think about that. Think about that. Think about it. And I was challenged this in the family court trial. You got to go through the process. We already know what it is. It's a sham bag, but you get all your, you stand on your square. Everything that you put in your affidavit, don't veer from it. Don't get into hearsay, controversy. And that's something that was my first family court trial I ever had to go through. I always eliminated the shit before it started. But they went through the process because it was an actual honorable judge. They got to go through the process. Even though, they got to play the game. Even though they know, when I look at the paperwork, they already knew I won from the minute I put my shit in. The way that she drafted that decision and order, she knew from the start, the entire time, where she was going with this. She just tried to get me off my square to see if I would play the game. I didn't. I stuck on the law. I didn't play the game. They kind of got me a little rattled, during the trial, asking me all these. I'm like, look. Then I had to bring it back because they start, the emotions start. They try to get the It's psychology, man. And I'm like, I don't got to answer that. I don't got to answer any of that. What do I got to answer that for? I don't got to answer none of that. That ain't even, none of that was even called the question. I don't have to answer none of this. What's good, Ms. Blink? So, again, I'm going to read that again. The contracts between them involve United States citizens which are deemed as corporate entities. Therefore, the U.S. citizens reside in one of the states of the Union, are classified as property and franchises of the federal government as an individual entity. This is case law telling you. It ain't no conspiracy theory. All these sovereign sitters in videos, motherfucker, this is case law. Contracts between them involve U.S. citizens which are deemed as corporate entities. If you're a U.S. citizen, you're deemed a corporate entity. Separate yourself when you're dealing with contracts. You ain't got to go through all them crazy hard-ass steps and all this other shit. Just claim it. They can't unclaim you. They can't say, oh, you got a state ID, so you're a U.S. citizen. Yeah, you're a U.S. citizen. We know that. Try to hit the border. Are you a U.S. citizen? Yes, I'm a U.S. citizen. That's the venue I'm playing in. I'm in that U.S. citizen. But over in this venue, I ain't no motherfucking U.S. citizen. I was asked that in the courtroom. Said, are you a U.S. citizen? I said, I'm a U.S. citizen. Yes, of course. You got to. Just say it. Who cares? What's on paper? And I know that was like a trick check. Because I tried to claim, all this other stuff and this and that. I'm an anarchist and this and that. I'm like, no, I'm a U.S. citizen because I am sometimes. I'm a U.S. citizen sometimes. They made this shit harder than it is. You know? I know I'm not going to put U.S. citizen on some other shit. Point blank, period. All this U.S. national stuff and all this other stuff, I get all that. All right? So think about it. You are what you are. They can't put you into this that we let them put us into these categories. No, we just take ourselves out of those categories. Like, nah, fuck that. Well, that's what y'all got. That ain't what I am. Fuck what y'all talking about. It's not what I am. But right there, this is case law. SCR, Penhal versus Doan administrators. The contracts between them involve U.S. citizens which are deemed as corporate entities. Therefore, the U.S. citizens residing in one of the states of the Union are classified as property and franchise of the federal government as an individual entity. Corporate fictions, right? Alexander versus Boswell, 1915. Party cannot be bound by contracts that he has not made or authorized. Free consent is an indispensable element in making valid contracts. What did I just tell y'all? That shit don't fucking even matter. All the shit they got you in. It right here. Party cannot be bound by contract that he has not made or authorized. Think about that. Think about it. You go get anything you authorized, right? Okay, now I'm gonna give you this jewel. Check this out. Damn, all my tabs. I got 500 fucking tabs. I gotta delete all these things. But hold on. All right. Now, all right, authorized, right? Authorized. Now, the legal definition of authorized is to authorize mean grant authority to empower. It may also mean to formally or officially approve. All right? That's what authorized means. And in the Black's Law Dictionary of authorized is how all right. Authorized. How a party is verified when they start a transaction. Given or denying access to a user based on their authentication as an authorization. How a party is verified when they start a transaction. That's what authorized means. Think about that. So, let me get back down here. So again, party cannot be bound by contract that he has not made or authorized. Think about that shit. Made. There's contracts out here we didn't made, and just because it signed it doesn't mean we were given full disclosure. That's another one, is full disclosure. This is why all this shit could be undone. All the shit could be rescinded. You know? People don't care, though. People don't care at all. All right. So now we're going to go down. All right. This is Hale versus Hinkle, right? Hale versus Hinkle was decided by the United States Supreme Court in 1906. The opinion of the court states, the individual may stand upon his constitutional rights as a citizen. He is entitled to carry on his private business in his own way His power to contract is unlimited. He owes no duty to the state or to his neighbors to divulge his business or to open his doors to an investigation, so far as it may tend to incriminate him. He owes no duty to the state, since he receives nothing therefrom beyond the protection of his life and property. His rights are such existed by the law of the land, parentheses, common law, long attestant to the organization of the state, meaning before the state, and can only be taken from him by due process of law and in accordance with the with accordance to the Constitution. He owes nothing to the public so long as he does not trespass on their rights. So this is for all the motherfuckers out here who talk about, oh, the citizen, don't say this and don't say that and don't say this. Man, say that shit. Who gives a fuck? Stop with this gobbledygook shit. And I'm not talking about nobody here. Just stop. It's all it's making the process longer. It's fucking easy. You know? I did all this shit all these years from my last relationship. I got 50-50 and then ended up getting sole fucking custody and getting child support. You know? That's what? No issues with no issues. And I don't know where this. I went into this, ain't seen, talk, nothing, and I'm getting equal rights, 50-50 down the middle, yet again. Yet again. Why? Because I got a whole, just like I read to constitutional case law, I got family constitutional case law that is deeper and goes into understanding shit you ain't never heard a motherfucker say, you know, on your rights. And this is all you stand on is your rights, your rights, your rights, your rights. Fuck what you talking about. My rights, my rights, my rights. No, I don't care what you're talking about. My rights, my rights, my rights. I think people don't have a clue, just have always been an assumption of those above them had the best intention in mind. Yeah, I believe you're right. So again, I'm going to read this again for all the motherfuckers who say, don't say citizen and don't say this. It's like, yeah, you can. In certain venues, okay? Now, there's some venues, you know, I would, if you know the other jargon, use that. But like I read the case law, it don't matter. In this case law, Hale versus Hinkle, straight says, it was decided by the United States Supreme Court that an individual may stand upon his constitutional rights as a capital letters citizen. He is entitled, not, you know, hold on, just so we're not getting confused here. All right. This says he is entitled to carry on his private business in his own way. Entitled means right. You got the right. Nobody can take that away from you. Right? The individual may stand upon his constitutional right as a citizen. He is entitled to carry on his private business in his own way. His power to contract is unlimited. He owes no duty to the state or his neighbors to divulge his business or to open his doors to an investigation so far as it may tend to incriminate him. He owes no duty to the state since he receives nothing therefrom beyond the protection of his life and property. His rights are such as existed by the law of the land, common law, long antecedent to the organization of the state, and can only be taken him by due process. That's why you got a right to due process. You got a right to all your rights. The only way they can take them is through due process of law. And it says you don't owe nothing. to the public as long as you don't trespass on the rights. All right, Hale versus Hinkle, another one. It's binding on all the courts of the United States of America until another Supreme Court case says it isn't. No other Supreme Court case has ever overturned Hale versus Hinkle. None of the variation issues of Hale versus Hinkle has ever been overturned since 1906. Hale versus Hinkle has been cited by federal state appellate court systems over 1,600 times, and nearly every incident when a case is cited, it has impacted on precedent authority of cited case. Compared with other previously decided Supreme Court cases, no other case has surpassed Hale versus Hinkle in the number of times it has been cited by the courts. The rights of individuals are restricted only to the extent that they have been voluntarily surrendered by the citizenship of the agencies of government. Ain't that crazy? And they're telling you right there, that's the only way they get you. You surrender your ass by the citizenship. You could use the word, but separate yourself from it. Boom. And that's exactly what you're doing when you put something down like you are a lawful free man, right? You are not a legal entity. You basically saying you are a man, you're not a citizen. You want to be private in this capacity. I don't want to be that commercial entity going through that bullshit that y'all going to put me through. No, you put me through the right way. It's two ways. The one the citizen wants to go to / slave that don't know any better, and there's one the private individual knows. You take me down that route because, unfortunately, I can't go steal my fucking, make somebody do something. Y'all got to do that. That's why y'all here to intervene for when we have no recourse. All other ways are exhausted. Look, we got crazy baby fathers and crazy baby mothers. I need help. I can't make them do shit. I'll go to jail. If I do it, then I'm wrong because I trespassed on somebody else. That goes to show you right there, guys. We make this shit difficult, man. I just try to break it down to you in simple forms. All right, guys, I'm going to take a break. The class is in session. You know? Give me 1 minute. We're going to pop this tune real quick. Give me 1 minute, guys. Oh, shit. I can't pop the tune. I'm on the wrong phone. But, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and probably switch it back to the other joint. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Give me 1 second.
All right, it looks like I'm back now. That was crazy. I was in an ended stream. Am I back? Shit. Let me know if I'm back, guys. Let me know if I'm back. Let me know if I'm back. All right, damn, that was weird. Let me know if I'm back. Let me know if I'm back. Let me know if I'm back. Okay. All right. All right. Give me a timeout. Be right back. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. That was a little mishap. All right. I was in a stream that said ended. All right. Give me 1 minute, guys. All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. I'm back. Sorry about that. Hold on. All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah. Shout out to all y'all tuned in. Well, like I said, man, I'm gonna do more on stuff, going over some things. If anybody wants to learn, hey, that's what I'll be doing. I feel like it's productive, and if it could help somebody out, you know, I mean, this applies all across the board to many different things. So definitely, if anybody has problems with their kids arrangements, and they're trying to change it, let me know. Help you out, whatever I can try to do. Any other situation, I know other people that do things, and you know, so shout out to all you guys, and yeah, man, studying and understanding things can help you out, man, in your everyday life. Because we've been attacked and impacted by all this shit, and we wonder how, you know, a lot of us, go through shit, and even like debt, stuff like that. There's ways to maneuver through that. There's ways to maneuver through that. Crappy. Oh, let's see. So, enough gobbledygookin on this internet with this fake ass truth community shit that doesn't do any damn thing. Um, People are just more asleep than ever, you know. So I just, that's what I want to do. I still do my other shit talking like always, but I'm gonna do more of on the computer, showing things, and people can take whatever they want from it. What's up, Daniel? So yeah. Let me drop one thing in here real quick. Show y'all where we're headed. Where we all headed. I mean, we already here, but this is how they treat us. This is what it's all about right here.
You are. You see, Rick, whatever you do, no matter fucking what, you do not mess with the New World Order. The New World Order is this, and it's really very simple. Even if you're fucking stupid, which you very well may be, you can understand it. Now, I know that is a mighty big, nasty pill to swallow. But swallow it, you most certainly motherfucking will. You ruled the roost. You built something. You thought you were safe. I get it. But the word is out. You are not safe, not even fucking close. In fact, you are fucked. More fucked if you don't give me what I want. And what I want is half your shit. And if that's too much, then you can go make, find, or steal more, and it'll even out sooner or later. This is your way of life now. The more you fight back, the harder it will be. So, if someone comes to your door, you fucking let us in. We own that fucking door. You try to fucking stop us, we will fucking knock that fucker down. You understand? What? No answer? You don't really think that you were gonna get through this without being punished now, did you? I don't want to kill you people. Just want to make that clear from the get-go. I want you to work for me, and you can't do that if you're fucking dead now, can you? I'm not growing a garden. But you killed my people. A whole fucking damn shitload of them. More than I'm comfortable with. And for that, well, for that you gotta fucking pay. So now, I am gonna beat the holy fucking fuckity fuck out of one of you. Jesus, you look fucking shitty. I should just put you out of your misery right now.
No! No! God! God!
Nope. Nope, get him back in line.
No. No! No!
Yep. That's what we dealing with. Right there. So yeah, everything's cool till it's not. So yeah, man. So shout out to everybody who tuned in and everybody who tunes in later. You know, much love to you guys. But like I said, I'll be, I'll be dropping some stuff and hopefully somebody could use this information, share the information and let people know who going through this stuff. Like, yo, man, it's easy. They really believe in it in themselves and, actually want to be, it's, the right is given to you. They just take it, they just take it. The right is given to you. They just take it because you don't know. And do they really take it? They don't really take it. It's just you don't know. They just take advantage of you. Out of ignorance, you volunteer. And it's just that simple. Out of ignorance, you volunteer for the shit. And we got to stop volunteering. We got to stop bending. And that's it. And I get it. There's situations that you can't control, but you can work towards it. There's situations that I get. I do get a lot of situations. There's a situation where you just, you know what, it ain't the time to be dealing with certain stuff. But I'm talking about the ones that can, So, everybody going through some shit. So, but yeah, shout out to all you guys, Mr. Boss, ESP. Oh man, Miss Blink. I think Kimmy was up on here. Shit, I switched phones, so I can't go back further. I know Daniel and Miko popped in. Whoever else is up on here. Again, shout out to all you guys. But much love to y'all, and I'll see y'all on the other side. The illegal migrants are more free than the legal residents. Yeah, that's right. New York State, they got green light law. That's why I can come on here and tell y'all that whatever they're doing is for commerce, man. You know, people think that, oh, the illegals, they're coming here for this or for that. Man, it's commerce, man. They need more people. And they know that whatever they do, Americans ain't going to be able to handle it. They're going to stress out. They're going to kill themselves, get on drugs, alcohol, go to prison for abusing each other. And they need motherfuckers here who come from collapsed countries already that won't even feel the effects. So they said, I mean, I don't know how many they say. Let me look that number up. I would assume they're trying to get to a half billion people here in the United States. That's what I would assume. Let me see how many migrants they say. Well, they say in 2023, 2.5 billion. All right. That ain't enough. Okay. Damn, what the fuck happened down here? I don't know what happened down here, but I'll have to try to find out. I don't know what happened. They got him blocked in the middle of the street. Oh, they must be fighting or something. So, I would think they're trying to get 100 million people over here. You know, I'm just saying. That's the only way I can think of because I look at the green light law and they can't get a New York State identification, but they can get New York State driver's license, just not for federal purposes, which I'm like, that's interesting. So when you see things like that, all right, it's commerce. Oh man, what the fuck? You know? So, I mean, it is what it is, man. So, oh, yeah, that's what I heard the other day. This dude, I always rag on him, but he went to McDonald's to get a fish sandwich. And he sat in line for an hour, and somebody else was in the line for an hour and a half at a fucking McDonald's. And I'm like, an hour? I was like, nah, you went in there no hour. That's crazy. Yeah, a whole hour, and somebody else was there for an hour and a half. And then when he got the fish sandwich, it was like one piece of bread or some shit. It was like crazy. It was the order was off. And I was like, well, that was a sign from the universe that you shouldn't have been there anyway. But on the flip side of that, he was like, it was only two workers working. Two workers. And McDonald's pays like over 20 something dollars an hour. But even McDonald's can't get workers. And that's crazy. I mean, that's good for McDonald's. I would love to see McDonald's go out, That's less poison going into people's body. It's less poison going into people's body. But that's crazy. That's really crazy. So, yeah, I thought that was wild. Two people working at McDonald's. You know? So, and then, there's already, I can't figure out where people working. It's everywhere is packed right now. A lot of people got taxes. You know, I'm like, man, there's not a. I can't figure it out. Nobody's working, but everybody got money. You know, I can't figure it out. But all right, guys. But that's all I got. And talk to y'all later. Peace and love.